Good morning. My name is Tara, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's combined Dharma, family, and Keito Kai service. Keito Kai is a service to honor and show our gratitude for all of the elder members of the Sangha who have done so much to make the temple what it is today, and who made it possible for us to be here together. Thank you, Keito members. We'll begin the service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kuwahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏。
Reverend Kuwahara will now lead us in the chanting of the Jusei.
ガゴン調整が非死無浄土志願不満足政府上昇が我を無量行不意大摂取不採処貧具政府上昇が餓死上仏道妙正長実法空虚未小門政府上昇が利欲人少年上映主凡行死具無浄土一生天人死人力縁大行不生無才道少女三苦妙交際集約難回避知恵言滅死肛門案閉塞小膜道通達全宗門高僧上満足異様老実法日月修寿期天候音符言一種解放像公正功徳法上大集中説法四四苦供養一切仏具足修徳本元年失上満徳意三害を女仏無下知通達未不詳願学営利投資最小尊志願若国家大戦を感動国書天人東内妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ観にしく読平等聖祭道本菩提 Namandavts, 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 namandavts.
Please join us in singing a Gatha selected by our music team. Please join us in reciting the Golden Chain too.
Please join me in Gassho, the Golden Chain. I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Kuwahara.
Good morning. Thank you for attending today's service. How are you? I hope everybody is well and healthy. Two Chinese characters on the screen. It is a Japanese word, which means to respect old people. So in Japan, the third Monday of September is Keiro Day, and it is a national holiday. So since it is a national holiday, kids, they don't have to go to school on that day. So this is one of the reasons why many Japanese kids respect and thank old people. So speaking of old people, I think your grandparents or grandparents are close and important to you. For us to be born, we need parents. They also have parents who are our grandparents, right? And then for us to be born, there are 4 grandparents. Grandfather, grandmother on mother's side, and then grandfather, grandmother on father's side, right? Since our grandparents have parents too, so each of us has 8 grandparents. Have you ever met them? Me? No, never. So when we go up to like 10 generations, how many ancestors do we have? I know some of you are good at mathematics. Yeah. So if we go back up to like 10 generations for ancestors, 1024. Yeah. So many people, so many ancestors, right? Of course, we can continue like 11 generations or 12 generations and so forth. Anyway, there are so many people, so many ancestors for each of us to be born in this world. We tend to think, I'm living my life. That's true. But at the same time, it is also true that we are living a life gifted from our grandparents, grandparents, and many, many ancestors, right? Not only our biological existence, but our social life is also dependent on many people in the past. For example, this is 110th year of the Berkeley Buddhist Temple. So our temple was founded in 1911. So we will have a bento sale this afternoon, and we will also broadcast a special video presentation on YouTube at 5 p.m. this evening to celebrate the 110th anniversary. So please be sure to watch it. And I'd like to thank the committee members for their great efforts in the preparation. ありがとうございました。For the Berkeley Buddhist Temple to survive for 110 years, there were many people who had made great efforts. I'd say this temple, our temple, is a sort of a crystallization of their efforts and appreciation of the Dharma. People who are now like in 60s or 70s, 80s, 90s, or even 100 years old, when they were young, they made a great effort to support and develop our temple, especially during and after the World War II. Thanks to them, we can enjoy the Dharma at this temple. We can receive the great benefit, great treasure of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. So on this occasion of Keiro service, let's extend our appreciation, gratitude to elders by deeply acknowledging and honoring their efforts and the support behind the scene. Also, I want each of you to live a life of gratitude by mindfully and then appreciatively discovering things behind the scene in our everyday life as a Buddhist. Okay? Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. I'd like to close my Dharma message by reciting the Nembutsu. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda 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 Butsu. Thank you. Enjoy the Dharma school. Okay? Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Let me begin my Dharma message reciting how to listen to. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if this message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Hai. Of Keiro, we sometimes give gifts to elders. In most cases, they are happy with gifts, right? But some people say, what's this? Oh, this is a Keiro gift. So to whom? This is for you. No, I'm not that old, right? So I know many of us don't want to be treated as an old person. And then some people, refuse, right? So in Buddhism, getting old is listed here for sufferings. Shakyamuni Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, pointed for inevitable realities for all humans, and most of us have difficulties in dealing with them. They are called four sufferings in Buddhism. To become old is one of them, and I agree with Shakyamuni Buddha. This is my father. You see a picture on the right corner, right bottom. He's also a Jodo Shinshu priest. One time he said in his Dharma message, to get old means to lose things that we have obtained. He is now 77 years old. As you can see the picture, he lost his black hair. But good thing is, he still has a lot of hair. Because of his knee issue, he had a surgery a couple years ago. Now he has difficulties working, although he had been really healthy and had no major physical difficulties until then. Because of his age, these days, he has more occasions to attend funeral services of his friends. He's been losing his friends. Also, because of his age, he has now stepped down or retired from many positions, and younger people are taking over those positions. So physically, socially, he has lost many things as he has become older. In Buddhism, it is taught birth, getting old, getting sick, and death are the four inevitable sufferings for all human beings. However, it is not the point of Buddhism just to indicate them, but the point of Buddhism is to relieve us from suffering or reduce the burden or stress of those four things. So some may ask question, if we practice Buddhism, will we not get old, but can we stay younger forever? No. If we practice Buddhism, will we not get sick, but can we stay healthy forever? No. if we practice Buddhism, will we not die? But can we live forever? No. If you're looking for that kind of miracles or teaching, unfortunately, Buddhism, especially Jodo Shinshu, is not the one. Then how does Buddhism or Jodo Shinshu Buddhism relieve us from those suffering? Buddha's wisdom. Buddha's wisdom changes our perspective so that we can see things or deal with situations differently. So the birth, according to the Buddhist cosmology, we continue birth and death in the endless cycle of samsara, right? Realm of suffering. Birth in this human world is regarded as the start of another life to deal with many difficulties, challenges, and suffering. Although it is true that we have something positive in this life, but overall, the reality is that we need to confront and deal with more difficulties, challenges, and suffering than positive and favorable things. Therefore, in Buddhism, birth is regarded as one of the 4 essential sufferings. However, for example, as stated in the passage of the 3 treasures, with this birth, right, birth in this world, we could live a life to encounter the teaching that liberates us from the endless cycle of birth and death in samsara. If so, this birth is an important cause of our liberation in the future. To get old. As I mentioned my father's examples, when we get old, most of us face decline or lose control of our body. As we grow up, we obtain many things, but as we become old, we have to lose most of them. But in this world, there are few things that we will never lose, right? Again, as stated in the passage of 3 treasures, we can encounter the Dharma or Buddha's wisdom that spiritually nurtures us. It is one of the few things in this world that we will never lose, no matter how old we are. The third thing is to get sick. Right? Everyone wants to stay healthy. Once we get sick, we have to deal with physical pain and difficulties, inconveniences caused by sickness or disease. So our regular life is totally ruined. However, there are people who live strong even when they get sick. This is a poem that I sometimes mention in my Dharma message. Mr. Morris was a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist and a member of the Orange County Buddhist Church. He had an ALS, which is an incurable disease. But as you can tell from his poem, he could live strong and even appreciatively, supported by Amida Buddha and Nembutsu teaching. Mrs. Ayako Suzuki is another great example. She got a cancer in the mid-40s. since the diagnosis of her cancer and until she died, she composed many poems of living with cancer, which are really powerful and then profound. I learned many things from Jodo Shinshu Buddhists who got a cancer or serious disease, but discovered very important things in the course of the treatment or dealing with their disease, and they completed their lives. The last thing is death. I'm sure most of us try to keep away from death. We don't want to die. I'm sure this is one of the most difficult and challenging things. But each of us have to seriously think of it, because death certainly comes to everybody sooner or later. Young or old, doesn't matter. Then why death? Is death so scary? Why do many of us keep death away? Maybe many of us think death brings us separation from our loved ones. Or some people may think it is the end of everything. It is a dead end. In Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, it is taught death is not the end of everything. Death is not a separation from our loved ones. But death is a start of new life as a Buddha. We are liberated from the life of samsara and then start guiding and embracing our loved ones from the Pure Land or the realm of nirvana. So even after our lives end this world physically, we are still connected with our loved ones, our friends, spiritually and religiously. Generally speaking, birth, getting old, getting sick, and death are unfavorable and negative things in one sense, especially in Buddhism. It is understandable that they are called for essential suffering in Buddhism. However, such values or evaluations are sort of the products of our narrow and fixed views. Maybe we are confined within those views due to our ignorance. I mean, we are ignorant of other views to look at them differently. With broader and more flexible views gifted by Buddha's guidance or wisdom, even when we look at the same things, we could have different interpretations or give different meanings. And that's how we can take different actions. To the four realities on the screen, I provided kind of two different interpretations, right? Upper side and the lower side. Buddhism teaches emptiness. The emptiness in Buddhism means the void of fixed meaning, the void of fixed meaning. Death, getting old, getting sick, they don't carry any fixed meaning within them. Right? Depending on how we see or interpret them, we can receive different meanings from them. The teaching of emptiness in Buddhism reminds us of the importance of seeing things from different, more or flexible perspectives. In this world or in our everyday lives, there are many what we call tough realities or difficult situations. How does Buddhism help us? By sharing wisdom, Buddha tries to broaden our eyes or liberate us from narrow and fixed views. With Buddha's wisdom, we'd come to deal with them in better way, different ways. Buddha wants to share wisdom or guidance with more people because that's how we humans can live well or better. Again, Buddhism is not a teaching to miraculously change the situation or solve issues, but it is a teaching that brings about internal change within us. And then with Buddha's guidance or wisdom. And then that is compassion in Buddhism. Right? Buddha's compassion is to share or give such wisdom that brings about internal transformation within each of us. And then this is Amida Buddha's wish, Amida Buddha's vow. Right? Amida Buddha wishes more people or all beings will live better with Buddha's wisdom or the guidance of Dharma. To achieve this, Amida Buddha has been continuously and tirelessly calling out and spreading the teaching, which is Amida Buddha's compassionate work. And then when we encounter, receive the Amida Buddha's wisdom and touched by the compassion, we start a new life, different life. That is Shinjin or life of Shinjin, right? To live with Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. That is life of Shinjin. And then since we receive such a great gift to change our lives, so that's why we utter a word of appreciation, words of gratitude. Nammandavats, 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 right? Because we receive such a huge treasure, gift from this Buddha, Amida. So this is how we live a life of Nembutsu. This is a life of Jodo Shinshu Buddhist with Amida Buddha's compassion and wisdom. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Please take care of yourself and then stay healthy. And then see you next week. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. So I'd like to close my message with Gasho. So please put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Okay, so I'd like to thank Tara for being a chairperson for today's service. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. And then thank you, Bradley and Myron, for your help during today's online service. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. And then thank you, John, for monitoring a chat room on the YouTube channel. ありがとうございました. Thank you. And thank you, Emiko-san and the music team for the beautiful music for today's service. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone
for attending today's service. ありがとうございました。ようこそでした。So now announcements are on the screen. If you can, please join us. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. So please take care of yourself and then see you next week. ありがとうございました。ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダブツ、ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダブツ、ナマンダーブツ。